Welcome to today's episode. We delve into one of the most talked about developments in Bangladesh's political landscape. Last week's London meeting between Dr. Mohammad Yunus, the head of the interim government, and Tariq Rahman, the acting chairman of the BNP. Was this a real breakthrough or simply a sophisticated political detente? With a conditional election timeline floating around, we ask, has the fog really cleared? Or is this just the beginning of a new round of strategic ambiguity? Let's break it all down. In politics, the stage sometimes shifts dramatically and sometimes it doesn't. Only the lighting gets murkier. The much anticipated meeting in London between interim chief advisor Dr. Mohammad Yunus and the BNP's acting chairman Tariq Rahman is being hailed by some as a breakthrough. It as a polite power brokering deal, the outcome of which remains uncertain. According to their joint statement, if all preparations are completed and adequate progress made in judicial processes and institutional reforms, the 13th general election could be held in the week before Ramadan in 2026. Many interpret this as a February election since Ramadan is expected to begin around February 17 or 18 next year. But here is the catch. There is no definitive language. It's full of ifs, leaving ample room for delay or diversion. The conditions are clear. Judicial progress and meaningful reform. But the real question is, are they even achievable in time? In Bangladesh's political reality, where even a single commission report takes years to implement, expecting multiple reforms, national consensus, and completion of hundreds of investigations and charge sheets in a few months is frankly optimistic at best. Add to that the differing positions among political stakeholders. The BNP wants election as soon as possible, but not without structural reform. The government, on the other hand, insists, show us progress first, then we'll consider February. This has created a classic tactical pushback where the burden of delay can be shifted onto the BNP if progress stalls. Read between the lines of the joint statement and it feels less like a commitment and more like a political pressure tactic. Most strikingly, the so-called consensus came exclusively from a BNP government dialogue. Other parties have already raised objections. Both the NCP and Jamaat Islami have labeled it a one-sided settlement, and Islami Andolun echoed similar concerns, calling the joint declaration overstated. That raises the question, can the head of an interim government truly decide something this critical by bypassing other political forces? If an election date is negotiated with only one party, how legitimate will it be to the wider national audience? Symbolically, Tariq Rahman presented Dr. Yunus with a pen and two books, one of being Greta Thunberg's "No one is too small to make a difference," a thoughtful gesture, possibly. But how will that resonate with grassroots activists and citizens who expected systemic change post-uprising? Too many. This is already looking like the comeback of one dominant party in exchange for a carefully crafted deal. The July uprising had given people hope for a different kind of future. But now, as the NCP puts it, if elections are reduced to a mere transfer of power, the public aspiration is rebuilt, the state may be lost. Government advisors, in contrast, seem to believe the quicker the elections happen, the faster international legitimacy and internal stability can be secured. Their sense of urgency appears more pragmatic than transformative. And then comes the ambiguity surrounding significant progress in justice. What does that even mean? Filing charges, completing investigations, or delivering verdict? With hundreds of complex cases, murder, conspiracy, abuse, it takes 6 months to a year just to complete the investigation stage. Is it really possible to achieve substantial judicial progress by February? Critics suggest that this could be a new form of political leverage, reminiscent of the infamous 111 regime. If February approaches without meaningful progress, the government could simply say, the people's interest demands a delay. And just like that, a new excuse to prolong their stay in power is packaged and sold. But here is the deeper concern. The joint declaration has created a kind of VIP politics by privatizing the BNP. Other groups, NCP, Jamaat, Ganashanghati, are questioning the exclusion. Can an election that starts with exclusion ever and in legitimacy? Interestingly, while some in the BNP-led alliance are relieved by the London talks, younger BNP leaders remain cautious. If the party returns to parliament without filters or reforms, it risks betraying the spirit of the people's uprising. Meanwhile, Dr. Yunus' remarks at Chatham House during the same trip were equally significant. There, he clarified he has no intention of contesting elections, organizing a referendum, or pursuing political office. This helped ease some concerns internationally, but questions remain about his advices, especially to former student leaders who now play key roles. Will they contest? Will they join the NCP? Will they join the NCP? It's becoming increasingly evident that while July's uprising was led by people, the aftermath is being negotiated by politicians. Some want quick elections, others insist on full reforms. In these tensions, the public's original demand risks being sidelined. Elections are not merely about announcing dates, they are a chapter in a nation's transformation. Without a clear post election roadmap tied on the so called July Charter, focused on democracy, governance, justice, and reform, this could become another 2014, 2018, or 2024 repeat. What people truly want now is not just a fair election. They want political culture to evolve. They want a government born out of public will, not backdoor deals. They want institutions free from partnership. They want politics to become public service, not privilege. So, unless these pre election conditions are clearly defined with concrete timelines, this February narrative will remain just that, a narrative. A story that could be rewritten again when reality intervenes. Ultimately, the transition won't depend just on dialogue or diplomacy, but on political morality, credibility, and national inclusion. Only then can we say the London meeting wasn't a promise for votes, but a true first step toward democracy. Otherwise, it will be yet another scene in a long running play, one where the curtain falls, but the darkness stays. Thanks for listening to today's episode. If you found this analysis insightful, please like, share, and subscribe. And remember, real change takes more than statements and symbolism. It takes structure, sincerity, and above all, shared vision. Until next time, stay informed, stay critical.